Rosemary?
Rosemary, would you like to?
It looks as if we can present this one. Okay. So would you like to take the chair? Come up as close as you can, because I think being close to the microphone is important.
Hello, Christine, as well.
It's not for me.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. We are here representing the National Council of Women, Christchurch branch, which has been concerned about a number of different issues in the long-term plan, but we decided that we would focus on one particular thing that was of significant importance to our members, and for which Christine Haythornthwaite, who's sitting next to me, and who's been involved in NCW for longer than I have been. So she's been a member and a representative, currently a representative of the Association of Anglican Women, and my name is Rosemary du Plessis, and I'm co-president of National Council of Women at the moment. So we decided we're going to focus our attention on the issue of mobile libraries, and I was very pleased to hear outside this building that you've had a number of different submissions on this particular topic. So what I'll do is I'll speak very briefly to the written submission we prepared, but I won't go through all of it. And that will be the general issues and the position of NCW Christchurch branch. And then Christine will provide you with some personal experience that's very relevant to why we think this is a very important issue. So NCW Christchurch branch opposes the proposed cut to mobile library services. It was one of the things that, although people didn't always read the small print, when they realised it was there, they were deeply concerned about. At $91,000 a year, as I understand it, we do not see this as an expensive service, but an absolutely crucial one, on which many elderly residents in retirement villages depend in very important ways. It's also a vital service for all city residents who do not have conventional forms of mobility. So if you have any form of mobility disability and you have to use buses, taxis, and other ways to get at your hard copy books, having a mobile library service in the vicinity of your home is really important, or in the vicinity of the form of residential care you're receiving. I think it's important to recognise that a cut to these services affects not only those who are older and those with disabilities, but it is also important for schools that are not in walking distance of our branch libraries, which are absolutely wonderful. And it's really important to encourage children's engagement with print books, with hard copy books, at a time when a huge amount of their access and their reading is occurring on digital devices. So as a women's organisation that focuses on the needs of women and children, and with a very strong commitment to public services that meet the needs of all those with disabilities and the most vulnerable and the oldest and the youngest members of our community, we urge you as a council to reconsider this component of the cutbacks to library services. And now I'm going to turn to Christine, who will talk about the importance of the service at a much more personal level.
I think we need to remember that while we've got Shirley and Parklands and other malls with library facilities attached, there are some areas, particularly in Merivale, where there are no library facilities attached to the mall, and a number of elderly people in that area. My mother, for one, would go down to the library, mobile library, every Monday morning up until the time she went into full care, which was only 2 years ago.
And she is.
And at 101, she absolutely loved that library and spent every Monday morning making sure she had books. And I believe that we've got to consider that and consider the number of retirement villages that the mobile library goes to, as well as the costs of it. There are other ways of making it work. There are other ways of saving money, but I don't believe that the mobile library is a good one. And I urge you to reconsider the whole funding for the mobile library and reconsider the service it is doing in the community.
I think the other point that was made when we discussed this with members is that some people remembered after the Canterbury earthquakes, when a lot of the libraries were closed, the mobile library service was crucial in getting to some communities and providing the service of books. And so I think that won't be the only crisis we have as a city. So the mobile library service and having that service is something that you don't want to give up when we can face civil emergencies in the future. The other agendas associated with that are that the mobile library service and the librarians who go out know their communities and they know the people who use those services. So it's not just a matter of a physical van with books in it. It's a matter of someone who goes regularly into those communities and interacts with the people who use the service and gets books for them and encourages people, if you like this, well then maybe you'd like that. So they genuinely act as librarians in a way that is hugely important, particularly for people who have not grown up with experience in using digital media.
And I don't know whether you saw the article in the media where Anne Brown was saying that she, in the retirement village she's in, she goes into the mobile library every week and makes sure that she gets the type of books that her husband enjoys, and the librarians know what he wants, and they select out the books that he knows that he will enjoy. And I think that's another thing, that a lot of people that go into retirement villages and other places, they haven't got transport. They can't always get to a district library.
Thank you. And we've had a number of submissions on this, as you've highlighted, and thank you very much for focusing on the issue. We've canvassed, whether there are potentially other options for delivering the service. I think people were after the service as opposed to the necessarily an investment in particular methodology for delivering. But anyway, that's what we'll take into account, and thank you very much for making your time available to come and submit to us. So thank you.
Are there any questions?
No.
Okay, that's good. We've run out of our time.
We're just sticking to a reasonable time frame.
That's great. Thank you very much for listening to us. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary.